7:45 a.m. Sunday, not in a hurry Sunday, September 14th in the dunes of Plymouth, Massachusetts, out here at Saquish. Alden says, 65 years ago I used to play out here, and now I'm at Meteorological. Thank you for all the comments. Alden and everybody, and Jim Raymond and Kate and everybody, Bruce and M. Bruce, down by the shore. I let T-Rex sleep in. I did not bring my noise canceling microphone, so I have to talk loud, and the fellow vacationers are all slumbering still this morning, so I came out here and I'm gonna have to talk pretty loud because of the wind interference. This is the most windy morning we've had in several days because there's a front to the north and the air is coming from the south, and there's a little vessel we put up yesterday. It looks like it's lost its air. Gotta yell a little louder there. And that flag is with air from the southwest, which is our warm weather direction. So sure enough, this morning the temperatures at 7 o'clock, just before 7, I got the temperature map, and there are no 30s and hardly any 40s this morning. It's in the 50s today ahead of the next cold front, and even Provincetown this morning, dew point is up to 63. I think that dew pointometer may be a little high, but you get the point. It's a mild start, but there was some dew on the ground this morning. All these neat little footprints. Look at that tiny, tiny footprint right there. What is that? Something really small made these footprints compared to a TK footprint. Yes, barefoot in the dunes. What a way to start a Sunday. But we do have to get off this island. Well, it's a kind of a peninsula today, so there is a bit of a plan. And so let's get going with the weather. The rainfall yesterday was not really expected in southeastern New England. We were all set up for a nice sunset, and this is what it looked like at the end of the day here. Ominous clouds on the horizon to the west and to the north, and sure enough, there were raindrops where I really did not think it was going to rain. The Coco Ra's rainfall says 0.03 around Hampton Falls, New Hampshire. The jackpot, 0.07 in Reading, Massachusetts. That's more than a sprinkle. It probably poured for all of 2 minutes there in Reading. And then really surprising down here around Marshfield, 0.02 inches. And the biggest surprise on the lower Cape this morning with Truro and Eastham and Orleans coming in with 0.03 and 0.04. Enough to get the dust down for a few minutes, but more just to kind of ruin our forecast. And that rain on Cape Cod, by the way, happened at about 3 o'clock in the morning. I was shocked. I actually woke up at 3 o'clock, look at the moon and the stars and stuff, and I saw that there was quite a cell there going across Cape Cod. That's in the middle of the night, so that's more than diurnal. We got more than just heating of the day, diurnal meaning by day or by night, and so we had nocturnal by night rainfall on Cape Cod last night. Looking over there at the point, the tide is outgoing, so we're going to have more beach to ourselves. Well, more beach to enjoy, not that it's crowded out here, but at high tide the water comes right up to this snow fence, and so at low tide there's plenty of sand, and that's not going back in the water today. We'll see more highlights in the end more, and I know when I change zooms I change my audio, and I try and come over here, but the wind gets me, so I find that standing right here is the best place to do the weather. And the national radar says not much going on right in the middle of the country. It looks like Nebraska is getting some downpours this morning. That precipitation, which a couple days ago I said was headed south, is now going to head back toward the north into Canada, and it's going to send warm air into Canada, but not before another cool batch of air comes at New England behind another front with a couple of specks. You see a couple of specks there in New England, and also that rain hugging the shore in North Carolina. That's going to be something, a wild card we're going to watch. That kind of wild card got us last weekend with all that weather we had last Sunday. A week ago, that rain was not expected, but it was very beneficial. So something like that can surprise us after about day 4 or 5. We only trust our forecasts here, sometimes not even for 12 hours, obviously, with yesterday's rain. But here's the meteogram for Nashua, New Hampshire. And it shows temperatures today quite nice, 75 to 80. There's a cold front coming at us from the north, and it's going to generate some clouds and a spot sprinkle or shower or maybe even isolated thunderstorm today. But for 95% of us, it's going to be just a partly to mostly sunny day and rain free. And then the temperature kind of holds steady with behind the front not much change. It will be a cooler onshore flow near the coast coming in here again on Monday or Tuesday, and what had been a temperature forecast for the low and mid 80s for Wednesday has now lowered to the upper 70s, not too shabby, and there will be a low pressure system just south of us on Wednesday night and Thursday, and then it looks like Friday now, according to this meteogram from the Euro for Nashua, New Hampshire, representative for New England, 85 degrees on Friday, and next weekend, it's a real long shot, but it may stay nice for parts of next weekend. Actually doesn't show the next raindrop till about Tuesday, September 23rd. Wow. And so I neglected to show the surface map this afternoon. Here it is. This is the surface map with this next high pressure system coming out of southeastern Canada and a front over New England. And you get the orange dashed line with a little, what is it, about 1014 low on the front in northern Maine. So I would say that Maine is most vulnerable, but you see the green shade across southern New England also. So we were all vulnerable to a brief shower, but mostly a dry day. And hopefully those showers yesterday didn't hit your wedding. I know it's the high season for late summer and fall weddings right now, and our friends went to one. Newport, Rhode Island was dry. Word from Newport yesterday. Wedding went off beautifully. And speaking of Newport, let's go to Martha's Vineyard. Speaking of Martha's Vineyard, Max Dex has shared this of the Pat West Gaff Rig and Schooner race off Vineyard Haven in Nantucket Sound yesterday. Glorious southerly breeze yesterday. Bonafide warm air advection. Thank you for sharing, Max. And where we did not really see the sun hit the horizon here at the western point here at Saquish, Max did see the sun hit the horizon. So there's a sunset from Martha's Vineyard yesterday from a long time out the door contributor and friend, Max Dex. Much appreciated. Well, no fish for you right there, huh? Going on to the next spot. Yep. So today the air is coming from the south ahead of that front. Oh my goodness, I just saw a fish jump right over there. You went away from the fish. I just saw a fish jump. You, blue boat, report. About 12 o'clock, 200 yards, fish out of the water. So yeah, I got my bearings a little bit better. There's the spit in Plymouth, and then right over there, I think just behind that sand is where Plymouth Harbor and then the Mayflower are, and then there's Bug Light, and then you move north, and that's Kingston over there, and right there, and then the Miles Standish Monument is in Duxbury. So that's the Miles Standish Monument. Slow down, TK. It's not in a hurry Sunday, and zoom back out so we can hear you better. Looking at Duxbury, Kingston, Plymouth Bay, National Harbor. Oh, bird with something in its mouth. All gulls report to that. Caught a fish. Is that a Manhattan? Well, we just saw a gull consume a fish larger than its head. All gone. That's what you say to the dog. All gone. We didn't get an osprey catching a fish, but we got a gull catching a fish. Yep. Live on Out the Door Weather and More. National Hurricane Center says that the probability of a tropical cyclone developing in the next 7 days is now up to about 60%. So it's got an orange shade instead of a yellow shade on the 7-day prognostication. And with that shade being so far to the east and north of the Caribbean, that would likely be a storm that stays at sea, perhaps tropical cyclone Gabrielle on the map in a few days. Otherwise, the tropics remarkably quiet for the height of the season right now. And that includes the Pacific and the Atlantic, but especially the Atlantic. All right, so let's go to the Euro. We will see where that tropical cyclone tries to end up in 10 days by watching this map. It's a new high pressure system coming out of Canada with the front coming through today. And it's been a fairly well advertised front, some upper level energy and just a reinforcement of air from Canada. And it will reinforce the wind from the east and the northeast from Boston to Cape Cod tomorrow. And the storm over North Carolina is looking more formidable again, isn't it, there, with lashing wind and rain on the outer banks of North Carolina over the next couple of days as that high center comes right over New England. Chilly nights once again, 30s, 40s, and 50s with the low dew point and beautiful. And onshore wind does not look too strong. Maybe we get some surf. So far the surf that I was expecting hasn't really shown up. We get maybe about a 2 or 3 feet 9 seconds right now. And then that low does try and come north a little bit. On Wednesday night, you see some green specks coming into Long Island. And so Thursday morning, it was to be the time to watch for a surprise band of rain in New England here Thursday. And then here comes the Thursday front. And much like 2 days ago and 3 days ago, the strong high coming out of southeastern Canada is coming toward New England. Yesterday, the Euro had that high going into Minnesota, and the front was lingering over New England with the rain for our Saturday and Sunday. Well, now it's reverted back to 2 days ago, and we get the high coming in here right over us. Very chilly air with thicknesses at one point, 528 under that high, but then it'll be moderating, and so it won't be freezing cold, but pretty chilly here again next Saturday and Sunday with that high right over us. And then equinox Monday, that high is moving away and a warm front is coming at us, and all of a sudden the air is going to come back from the southwest as fall celestial autumn begins. Of course, the first day of meteorological autumn was September 1st, but this goes out now to Tuesday, September 23rd, the first full day of celestial autumn, and it's pretty quiet, isn't it? Coast to coast, hardly anything going on there. And across Canada, lots of lines, lots of red lines and black lines. Those will be thicknesses and isobars as there's powerful storm track going across Canada. And most of the nation is going to be anomalously warm to hot at this point. And you can see a few specks of green near New England with the 564 and the 570. That's a warmer front coming at us in about 10 days or so. And then as we shift the map south, you can see the potential Hurricane Gabrielle there, headed close, looks like closer to the Bermuda area than the Bahamas, as a 956 major hurricane possible, pretty close to Bermuda, and making the curve toward the north and then back toward the east, well offshore of North America. So could we have an entire month of September without even a tropical storm near our coastline? That would be remarkable, but that's what it looks like right now. I followed this map. That's the end of the forecast right there. That was day 10, and if you go to pivotal weather, you can take that thing out to days 15, and by day 15 there's another really cold air mass coming at New England, and no hurricanes on there at all. And so we only want to get it wrong from days 1 to 10, not after that. All right, so we walked out there with Rex yesterday. It's just a little too breezy, and I enjoy watching the birds. I'm going to zoom in here. There's a tiny little bird. The plovers head south. Are you a plover? You have to report south to the Caribbean and Venezuela. Or is that sandpiper? Pipers and plovers, please report south. And fishermen all over the place. So I did quite a lengthy and more yesterday because we had 3 generations of Tom Fogartys. Grandpa, Papa, and Baby Tom. What do we call them? Tom, Thomas, and TJ, Tommy Jr. on the beach yesterday. So that was quite fun here. As this piece of property that we're on was once owned by the Fogarty family, and it was Tracy Fogarty spinning up this vortex of love and family reunion here at the old Saquish place on Western Point. And we much appreciated it, and we had steak and lobster and sausage and salads for dinner yesterday. And I'm going to try and just stick to weather for my and more here. Yesterday's weather today, so you will see T-Rex and Kiki, who I think I hear barking now. And of course, lots of birds and beach and boating. And more from yesterday. And more at 8:30 in the morning. Kiki loving the sun. The dew is dripping off the canopy. Here, a bunch of sparrows just landed right there in those lobster pots. We're editing out the door weather and more, and watching the birds and the fishermen. Planes coming out of Plymouth Airport over there. So peaceful. And what's your name, Mr. Celebrity? I was looking at you to see if you were looking at me.
What's your name, buddy? What's your name?
What's your name? Where you from? Hi, I'm Tim, and this is a feature called Out the Door, Weather and More. And you are the superstar of the day.
Tommy.
Hi, Tommy. Yeah. I know, I've got a fun camera case too. Uh-huh.
Okay, you ready for a walk?
Beach walk time?
It's only his favorite color.
Orange?
Yep.
That's why he was touching the camera. Orange is TK favorite color too. We get a lot of orange around here. It's the color of manifestation. It is. Not kidding. We're manifesting positive vibes this weekend. Breakfast, brunch, whatever. The sun's getting pretty high in the sky. What's for brunch?
Eggs.
Eggs.
And a hot dog.
Perfect. How often do you prepare your breakfast in a setting like this? You did when you were young, didn't you? So it's been a while since we've done this.
Oh, there we go. Progress.
Yeah. So I remember when you were about maybe 10 or 12 years old and we were out here doing this.
Yep.
That was fun. And here we are, a decade or two later.
Yeah.
Reunion. And now you've got a 2-year-old around here somewhere and a dog inside. Oh yeah, we've already seen him. He's the star of the day.
Getting his bathing suit going.
And Kiki chilling. Not a lot to report here. Early afternoon. Perfect blue sky and subsidence. Tide is incoming now. Let's look at some fisher people out there and pretty high-end flotilla over there towards the Duxbury-Kingston line. Oh yeah, that's some good-looking craft there. Kiki, stop eating off the table, please. Kiki just had a sub. Kiki's helping herself to lunch before anyone else. Interesting that the air is coming from that way down here near the ground, but then those clouds are coming from that way. How does that happen? Yep, got ourselves a sea breeze front. Heating over the land. You can see those turbines are pointed, I believe, in our direction. And the air is rising up with wind from the west over the inland area. Yes, TK, you've been telling us that month after month after month. All right, sorry. I just can't stop. Looks like Kiki can't stop asking for more lunch. That wasn't enough for you? You want more? Yeah. And what's all that racket over here? Floaty. Trying to make a floaty float. If I can get that thing to float, maybe we can float out to the flotilla. Pointed right at us now, saying, come on out. Okay, that only took about an hour. The cocktail craft is ready. It's no levitate stand-up paddleboard, but maybe you probably shouldn't try it with an offshore wind. Let's see if we can find a gullible cocktail craft tester. So, it's an offshore wind, so I suggest paddling really hard towards shore once you get on there. Kiki has had more food than all the humans put together. Cocktail craft on hold, offshore breeze, not good. So upgrade since we've been here. Septic system in there. Solar panels. Predator, super quiet. 3500 inverter. I think it's a generator too. And all these batteries for the solar panels. And we've got a good amount of electricity. I just operated that blow-up pump for an hour. And this outdoor lights, they all light up at night. So pretty good electricity. Very impressed. Little Wi-Fi. Some kind of TV antenna. It's glamping for sure. There it is, Doug. We got the cocktail craft. Okay. See you tomorrow. We're gonna set sail. It's an offshore wind, Janet. Good luck. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Probably make it tomorrow.
T-Rex, where's mommy? Rex does not like the water. What kind of beer you got there? Shark tracker. We're attracting sharks. That's called a go fast boat for people in a hurry. And this is called a go slow boat or cocktail cruiser for people not in a hurry. Yeah, just another boring Saturday, huh, T-Rex? What are we gonna do on Not in a Hurry Sunday? Weather update here at 4 o'clock. I don't think that one's producing any precipitation. precipitation, but I just looked at the radar and way north in Brunswick, Maine. I don't think we can see Brunswick, but maybe that's the top of it. There are some raindrops happening in New England today on this Saturday afternoon. Cheers, Tom. Just at about high tide now, past 4 o'clock. And look what we have here. This is vital to the survival of scallops, bay scallops. This is eel grass. This is what we do not have in Bass River. That long thing. This stuff. And scallops need this. Baby scallops attach themselves to this, and that's how you propagate scallops. So happy to see eel grass here, and we're trying to get it back in Bass River. Oh, there's a nice clump of it right there. Eel grass. So there's probably scallops around here too, although I haven't seen any scallop shells. Nice. TJ. And so there's that ship that we saw back in springtime when we pulled into Bristol on the links. It was next to us, and then we went to Martha's Vineyard and it was there. So this is a little cruise ship. I think it might be called America, that just goes port to port in New England, spring, summer, and obviously now going into fall. I don't know if it does the whole winter. Maybe it goes south for the winter. Plymouth Bay. Tide just peaked, so now the tide's going to go back out. We love that. And that shower over there, or that cloud, that TCU, looks like it might be trying to shed a raindrop. So a couple of random raindrops in New England on this 11th beautiful Saturday in a row, at least in southeastern Massachusetts. No tornadoes today. Cutest chair.
Hiding from the water.
So that cruise ship that just went by sent this rogue wave into shore here. All sandals and koozies are all floating away. Where'd T-Rex go? T-Rex is headed for the high ground. It's a tsunami. Rex, I think it's over. Almost a little anvil cloud now. There is a raindrop or two over Lowell, but I'm wondering if this one's closer to Manchester. So we do have scattered towering cumulonimbus right now. And that little tsunami has passed. And interesting that the cocktail craft is now shifted this way. So the tide has just started going out. So we'll see you ladies later. You're gonna go out with the tide. It's very dangerous here, but we should be able to find you in the morning around the corner. Oh, why'd you bring them in? It would have been more fun to watch them swim. Allison, you want to go for a spin?
Oh, I don't know.
What did you just say?
Try them go in, they'll cut the rope. Chris, you want to go in? You want it?
TJ, it's your turn. Over here.
Got a little chilly.
Vacancy. Five o'clock on a Saturday. You gotta know who loves who. Kiki and Tracy. Okay, we'll leave you guys to yourselves. You guys, sorry to intrude. A Tommy playing with buses. How unusual. 6 o'clock, quite a breeze from the south. More than a sea breeze. Synoptic scale. Well, there's another little backdoor front. I don't know if I talked about it that much, but it's gonna be a new high pressure system from Canada. And we do have more showers than I thought, more than sprinkles too. But gorgeous day here. 11th nice Saturday in a row. Very grateful. And I did not play the time lapse from our Friday because I got so carried away with the Ragged Old Flag song that I did not even get a copyright infringement on, because the spirit of Johnny Cash, I guess. And there are the clouds with this sort of backdoorish cold front coming in for our not in a hurry Sunday. Although I like to say I don't have a plan, but I do have a lot of plans for our Sunday. But I'll try not to be in a hurry for them. All right, time lapse of these clouds coming at us from the northwest in Weymouth, Massachusetts. Probably turned gray just as the sun was going down. As that's the direction my camera is pointed in right now. By the faux garnet light on the deck right there. And I'm thinking in South Dennis, you get a parade of music going by. Bee Gees. Love listening to Casey Kasem on Sunday mornings. And sunset here at Saquish. When you get one of those smart speakers, you cannot go too far from the smart speaker's phone. Funny. Yep, the Bee Gees are right in there. Look at that crab. But we got piano music from Captain Spacetime. Up and down, round and round is the name of the piano tune we play here. So we'll turn down the Bee Gees and turn up Captain Spacetime. I had to move away from that smart speaker because I didn't want to get a copyright, and I wanted to hear the Captain Spacetime music with our cocktail craft as the sun goes down here at Saquish. And watch the Cape Cod time lapse, which should be pretty much just all blue sky. Cocktail craft has landed, waiting for its next adventure as the sun goes down on this beautiful Saturday, September 13th at Saquish. Memories made here as the ladies walk off into the sunset. Kiki's a lady too. Let's put our feet up and stick around a while.